Hello, Pops. Hello, Pops.
Hi everyone. Hello
Hi,
everyone.
how are you?
I'm
How are
good, thanks.
you?
How are you?
I'm good. Are we gonna have a problem with can you hear me clearly?
I can hear you clearly, but I'm getting feedback.
Oh, okay, okay. Let me try and see if I can sort that out on my side. But I can hear you very clearly as well. All right. For you that don't know what is happening, it is that time of the show right now where we it's Travel Thursday, of course. And okay, wait. Is it better, Pops?
Let me see. Yeah, perfect.
Is it better? All right.
Yeah,
All
better.
right. If you just tuned in, a very warm welcome to you. My name's Quax. I'm hanging out with Pops. She is our travel blogger. She's also a travel enthusiast. And we're going to talk to her every Thursday just about where she's traveling to and all of that. But I don't want to say too much because I want her to kind of answer the questions that we have for her. Pops, hello.
Hi, Kwax njani?
Dipili Lunjani.
Ndiyaphila Nkosi.
All right, so for people who don't know who you are, can you please introduce yourself and just tell Amandu what it is that you actually do?
Okay, so I'm Popi, a travel vlogger from South Africa,
Okay.
and what I do is I travel all over Africa and I document the tribes of Africa mostly.
Okay.
But I also do other things like just tourism around Africa. So my main thing is traveling Africa by road and rail. That's what I'm focusing on right now.
Okay. And when did you start this? When did your
I
journey
started in
start?
I started in 2022 with a road trip from South Africa to Ghana.
Okay.
So I was unsuccessful. I tried again in 2023. I made it all the way to Ghana. And now in season 3 of the Poppy Show, which people can watch on TikTok and Instagram, I am now on a road and rail trip from South Africa to Kenya. So the popsicles were like, Pops, please do East Africa as well, because the road trip from South Africa to Ghana focuses on Central Africa and West Africa. So the popsicles were like, please cover East Africa as well. So that's what I'm
Okay.
doing in season 3, which is this
Awesome.
season. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, so let's quickly go back a little bit, Pops, just to have a little background of how you grew up. Have a little background of, is travel something that you kind of was like, that's something I want to do, or did it just fall on your lap? Like, how did that all come about?
So I was working with this other lady in 2017. I was in corporate, and the
Okay.
lady who sat next to me was a travel enthusiast. So when I bought a car, she was like, "You have to drive your car around everywhere," and she'd give me, tips on where to go. For example, my first ever road trip was from Joburg to, what's the name of the place? I don't know, but it's a oh
Not
yes,
arties,
Pilansberg.
though. Okay.
No, Pilansberg, close to Artis.
Okay.
Pilansberg National Park. So it's a game reserve.
Mm.
So I did a self game drive there, and then maybe the next month I went to Mpumalanga, Graskop, where there's the three rondavels and God's window, etc.
Mm.
Um, yeah, that's when the travel bug hit. By the end of that year, I'd been to Eswatini, Lesotho, and that's when I realized, hey, I really enjoy traveling. So that's where the love for travel started.
Yeah. Awesome. And I think the biggest, thing would be, letting parents know, but yeah, I'm leaving corporate, I'm leaving work. Is that something that you did? You were like, I'm leaving this to do travel. What is that? Don't londo, yeah, badala londo. Well, how was that conversation with your parents?
It wasn't really a conversation. I just quit my job, my teaching English in China job, came home and I just told my parents that, I'm done with teaching and I'm going to travel full time. And they were confused. They didn't know what it entailed. They were definitely concerned, but my parents are supportive and they don't really like to get in our way because they don't want us to blame them, for never having followed our dreams, for being unfulfilled in life.
Yes.
So it wasn't really a conversation. I told them, and then they were like, "Oh well, there's nothing we can do," and yeah, they supported me.
That's awesome. Now, tell me something, Pops. In terms of, travel, do you, of course, you went on your first road trip when that lady helped you out, but did you have any worries and concerns, or were you that traveler that kind of jotted things down, like I'm going to stop here and then I'm going to fill up here and then this is where I'm going to sleep and then this is where I'll eat? Like, what kind of traveler are you?
I'm see where the road takes me type of traveler. So I don't. I even now I don't plan anything. You can never. Well, I can never know where I'll be next week. You know. I just, yeah, wherever the road takes me. So if I see a place to eat, that's when I'm stopping. When I see a filling station, that's when I'm stopping. I don't really plan ahead. I do my best up front. For instance, I'd leave Joburg with a full tank and maybe a snack, in case it's hours before the next refreshment stop.
Sure.
Something that's easily nibblable on whilst driving. But yeah, I don't do too much planning. I don't enjoy planning. I enjoy the what's the word? I don't
You
know.
enjoy the spontaneity of it.
Yeah, the spontaneity of it. That's why I
Sure.
travel for spontaneity. So I'm not going to
Sure.
now bring planning into something that is my channel to be spontaneous.
Awesome. Tell me something. How easy was it for you, or how difficult was it for you to actually go in and do this? Because I can imagine that, when you're in a space and you leave something that was so secure that you knew that every month here I'm getting money no matter what, and you go to an unfamiliar kind of territory. How scary was it for you? Like what did you go through when you took this journey and decided, you know what, I'm actually going to travel?
Wow. So in the beginning, when I realized that I'm not fulfilled in teaching, it was scary. I was like, how will I survive? Because it's not like I had travel jobs lined up. I didn't have a plan and I didn't have much savings. But
Sure.
I just trusted in the universe. I was like, the universe has my back. The universe has my back. The universe has my back. Um, I just need to start. And then as I start, the road will become clear. So as I put one foot forward, the road will become clearer. The path will, clear up. So it wasn't easy. It's not something that I just woke up and did without thinking twice about. But I'm glad I did it. And it's not as bad as people would imagine, you know. Yeah, opportunities open up when you take a risk. So yeah.
Sure. Okay. Speaking of, it's not as bad as people think. So let's say you have someone that is watching us live right now, or that is listening to Keith Nyesi Radio, the Jump Off on a Travel Thursday, and they want to know, look, like, how do you start? Because maybe they love travel as well. Are they like two or three tips that you can give them to say, okay, well, this is how you can start traveling the world?
Okay, so what you first do is you go on social media. Okay, so you find your own travels in the beginning. So
Okay.
let's say there's a long weekend coming up. Book a trip. It doesn't have to be far away. It doesn't have to require flights. Just a road trip. If you have a car, you can drive. If you don't, you can just hop on a bus and then vlog that trip. So vlog everything. Vlog the bus, review the bus, review the food, the refreshment stops, the hotel or Airbnb or wherever you're sleeping, activities, show everything.
Sure.
Use Instagram stories. Those are very good for engaging with an audience and for an audience to get to know you.
Sure.
And then do a summary of the trip using reels or a summary
Okay.
of the day. So
Okay.
day one, this is what we did. Voiceovers. People enjoy my voiceovers. And voiceovers also showcase your personality. So maybe instead of just putting music over a video, maybe use voice notes. I mean voiceover to
Okay.
describe to us what's happening. And then we went here, and then we did this. I didn't like this. I didn't really like this. I really enjoyed this one, etc. And be consistent in that. So every time you travel, vlog, share information with people, and yeah, people will get to know you. They'll get to know you for traveling. They'll get to become excited when you say you're traveling. Yeah, that's how you start.
Okay. Now, Pops, okay, we kind of have a background now about you. We do know that you're from the Eastern Cape. You're from Pikanen, up in the Eastern Cape.
Eqonce in the Eastern Cape. Eqonce.
Kone. Hey, shout out to Kone. Stand up, Kone, in fact. All right. So, Poppy, can you just walk us through now as to where you are? And just generally, I know that you're traveling throughout Africa. How long are you staying in each place?
Okay, so currently I'm on a road and rail trip to Kenya. I'll be covering Zimbabwe, DRC, Malawi, Tanzania, Kenya, and Rwanda.
Okay.
And I plan to stay 2 weeks in every country. So in total, this should be about 3 months.
Okay.
Currently, I am in Zimbabwe, in Bulawayo.
Okay.
I came here. I heard that there are Xhosa people in Zimbabwe, something I didn't know.
I didn't know that
And
either. I didn't know that
yeah, not a
either.
lot
That's
of people know
amazing.
that. Not a
Yeah.
lot of people know that, to the point where South Africans will argue with Zimbabweans online and
Oh
dispute
my
the fact that they
word.
are Xhosa. I saw a TikTok where a creator was like, you know what? I'm so tired of this. This is the last time I'm going to talk about this. There are Xhosa people in Zimbabwe, guys. So I wanted to see these Xhosa people for myself, spend time with them, see what are our similarities, what are our differences. And yeah, so since Monday, that's what I've been doing. I went to a village called Mbembesi here in Bulawayo,
Okay.
and yeah, I chilled with the Xhosa people, spoke to them, and yeah, I just got back last night. So
Okay.
the first episode of that should air tonight. I
All
should share that
right.
on my TikTok and Instagram tonight.
Okay, awesome. So what did you find out with these Xhosa people, and what is they you know with the tribes mostly here in South Africa, you've got your Beles and your like what's happening over that side with Xhosa that are in Zimbabwe?
It's actually the exact same thing. They are the exact same Xhosa people. Nabo banezduko. So ikoni lale Mabeleni.
Okay.
I forgot the other names, but Nabo, they live according, well, I wouldn't say they live according to clan names, but I suppose in the beginning they did. And that's how the names of the different villages under the greater village of Mbembesi came about. So
Interesting.
there's a place called Wambete, Emabeleni, and maybe Godlamini, I don't know, I can't remember. But yeah, I found that we are exactly the same Xhosa people. Language is the same, culture, traditions, everything. But then with these Xhosa people, they have been heavily influenced by Isindebele because they live among Ndebele people. So in
Yes.
this region of the country is Ndebele land. So even,
Ebuluwayo.
yes. So
Yes.
Ilantika, even at school, Xhosa children study Ndebele. They don't have Xhosa right now as a language in their schools.
Oh,
So you
okay,
find that
interesting.
isiXhosa sabo is still isiXhosa ezifana nesethu, you know. but it's got some Ndebele influence as well. For instance, they call itapile amagwili. I was
Oh,
like, so a lady
interesting.
said, isup yamagwili. I was like, indona magwili. And
Yeah.
they were like, itapile. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And they were like, but we use that word now so much. It's become so much ingrained in our isiXhosa to the point where
Yes.
if you said itapile, people would look at you funny.
Mm.
So the isiXhosa sabo is evolving and it's becoming diluted with isiNdebele. But for the most part, it's still the same.
Awesome. Did you learn some cool words that you want to teach me in Ndebele that you quickly want to
Oh my
teach
gosh.
me?
Okay, I actually have them in my. Let me open my notes app.
Open. We wanna learn some Ndebele. I do know that. I think it was yesterday. It was International Linguistic Day, and
Okay.
one of the ways to celebrate International Linguistics Day is to actually learn another language. So this is
Oh,
me
okay.
trying to learn, literally another. Just teach me two or three words that I
Okay.
can walk away and say, you know what, Poppy taught me this.
Okay. Bye bye means oh gosh, I think PT like just
Pity
now.
pity.
Yeah. So
Okay.
let's say okay, here's an example. You buy, let's say you buy cheap shoes,
Okay.
and then I say bye, you have sore ankles. Next thing,
Okay. Okay.
yeah. So it's like next thing you have sore ankles, or in a short while,
You have
not
sore
long from
ankles.
there.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
you have sore
Okay.
ankles.
Okay.
So
Okay.
uthenga isihlangu cheap, bye, kumele uye
Bye bye
kwagqirha.
bye bye. Hey,
Yes,
njengathi
kumele uye
mandibhale
kwagqirha.
nam. Mandibhale bye bye. Ndine diary even. Mandibhale bye. And that would be
Yes,
spelled with the MB, hey?
yes. I spell it MBAY. I'm not
Yes.
sure the
Okay. Yeah, no, that's literally how I was sounding as I was bye.
yes.
All right. What's the next one?
Okay. The next one is mbijana. So
Mbijana.
yes, mbijana means
Okay.
kancinci.
Okay.
How can I put it in a sentence? Eish. I don't know how, but
So basically
mina,
athi umntu kuwe uyayifuna rice uthi wena mbinjana. Nje
I
kancinci.
think so.
Okay. Okay.
Khandiphe
Okay.
nje mbijana. Yes,
Mbinjana. Nje kancinci, nothing much. All
yes,
right. Cool. All
yes.
right. Cool.
And then the last
Nice.
one is, oh gosh, I had it just now. Oh, imota. Imota is imoto.
That sounds like a car.
Yes, it is. Imoto.
Imota.
Yes.
So instead of imota.
Oh, imota. Yes. And to the
Okay.
point where abantu basembembesi refer to imoto as imota. It's one of those words that they now use full time.
Okay.
Yes.
Hectic. All right, hectic. That's nice. All right. So, what kind of foods were you eating there in the lalis? Because you know, when you come to South African lalis, trust and believe, man, you're gonna get involved, Klambi, in some legwas. You're gonna get involved in some meat
Mm,
from the sheep or the cow. You're gonna get involved
mm.
in some ngusho. What did you eat when elalini? Yeah, says Zimbabwe.
Ukutya kwabo kufana nqwano kwethu. So we had umleqwa, ke kwaxhelwa
Okay.
inkukhu.
Uh huh.
Umleqwa simtye ne-rice ne-gravy. And
Okay.
then we also had pap with beef and sausage.
Okay.
And yes, also another word, ipap, they call it umqa.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so
I've
they
heard
don't
that before.
call it papa.
Okay.
Okay, so even in South Africa, there are some regions that call ipapa umqa.
Yes. They are. That's why I'm like, I've heard that
Oh,
before.
okay.
Okay. And then,
Because Futhi is made of intlabonki and mealie meal.
Mm,
So
mm, mm,
it's
mm.
another it's a totally different dish than pap, which is just mealie meal and water.
Mm.
So that was quite interesting. But yeah, it was the exact same food.
And in terms of, let's talk about housing and sleeping situations. I mean, you'll find, of course, nowadays as Lalini, they build big houses. But I mean, we know from back in the day as Lalini, it was just like Oronda. Is it the same situation over Bambes?
The exact same situation. Bakhona ronda, zikhona izindlu zodaka, but they also now moving towards bricks, concrete. So banabo folk on bezidena
Sure.
with a lounge, a bedroom,
Okay.
and then each toilet are still long drops outside.
Okay. Okay.
So they haven't really gotten into the inside toilets. I suppose there are homes with inside toilets, but the wealthier homes.
Okay.
But the average home is still
It's
using
it's
long
long.
drop
They long
outside.
dropping. So Poppy, you were
Yes.
long dropping.
No, actually no. I wasn't. I was looking for a spot in the fields. Aisha,
Okay.
nah.
You
Yes.
can't get involved in long jobs. Eh? That's not your vibe.
Thanks.
But you wanted the authentic kind of experience, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And so I gotta ask, did you sleep on the floor? Like, where did you sleep?
Yes, we slept on the floor because beds are limited. So sondlalela umatrasi phansi salala, and it was comfortable. Yeah, I'm used to that.
Awesome. Yeah, hi Choga. And Gengogu, when you travel, I think the idea behind traveling with a lot of people is, it's got to be fancy. We've got to, sihlale bedding with white sheets
Sister
and
champagne.
Siseli Shambombo, with cheers in classes, Kumandi. But I think what you're doing, exploring Africa in its essence is actually really so amazing. And I cannot wait. I'm Nandi fan of the Poppy Show. Ngoku. So, and I hope that you as a listener as well are going to go check her out and go on and be a fan of her. The Poppy Show happens, and every week she puts out an episode. So I can't wait to see this week's episode. The kind of money visuals, because as much as we can talk about it, visuals are just something different, right? Because we
Yes,
have an
definitely.
understanding of what's going on. Yeah, we hear it, but when you see it, it's something
Yeah.
totally different. Can you
Yes.
tell me, Poppy, just two highlights of this week for you?
Wow. I think um definitely going to Mbembesi was a highlight, and meeting these Tosa people who I had heard about years ago. And I've been dying to meet them. I think it's so interesting. And hearing actually their history, how they came to be in Zimbabwe,
Okay.
you know.
And what is that history, by the way?
So Bati, they came with Cecil Rhodes, but abakoshona babaqhathwa, abanye bathi baqhathwa kwathiwa kukho umhlaba oneepesika, baqhathwa ngeepesika, you know. So no one really
That
knows what led them to agree to come, you know, if they even agreed. So apparently there were three Xhosa men, sort of Isbonda, who were taken by Utu, Cecil Rhodes. And then those men were like the founding fathers of the Xhosa tribe in Zimbabwe. They were given Umhlaba and Mbembesi.
okay.
And then from there they multiplied.
Hectic. And obviously they got involved with the people that were already there, your original Zimbabweans,
Yonde.
and then they
Yes,
multiplied
Yondelele
like that.
people. Yes.
Okay.
No, they didn't.
Awesome.
No, for a long time actually they didn't. Uh, they only reproduced with their own.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
so that the Xhosa nation could grow.
Okay.
So for a
Okay.
long time, there was no intermarriage, or it wasn't encouraged. Not sure if it wasn't there, but certainly it wasn't encouraged. Abakosa, they even say, my host, even they have this like, they kept repeating, but Abakosa used to be they used to band together. They only used to live, they used to live alone, away from other tribes,
Mm.
and they do their own thing, to the point where some of the people I was with believed that the government even became threatened by the
Really?
growth of Abakosa and the strength that they had, the unity that they had, to the point that they started, picking them apart and sending them to this area and that area just to disperse them.
Mm.
Some people say that that's not true. You know,
Okay.
the
Okay.
reason some Abakosa moved from Mbembesi to other places like a Kenilworth, Fort Rexin, was because babegcwele eMbembesi, there was no more land, so
Okay.
they were offered, you know, places that aren't as crowded to start
Okay.
over.
Okay.
But abanye abantu say no, it was because the government was threatened by how the Xhosa nation was becoming so strong, to the point where it could have even formed, maybe not its own government, but something strong, lead itself.
Mm. Can you tell me quickly in terms of population of the Xhosa nation per se that is out there in Bulawayo?
I have no idea. I
So, I'm
didn't
not
do
a
that
plus
research.
minus like.
Nothing at all. But they are still a minority. So the Xhosa tribe in Zimbabwe is still a minority, to the point where Xhosa is not even taught in schools. So that's an indication. So they are working on it, right?
Okay.
But it's not yet in the books. It's not yet happening. So it's
All
an
right.
indication that there aren't too many of them.
Okay. Poppy, what's next? So this week you're still going to be in Bulawayo, and I'm guessing next week you're still going to be within Zimbabwe.
Yes.
Am I right
I'm
in guessing
actually
that?
leaving for Dear Harare tomorrow,
Okay.
and then from Harare. So Harare, I actually don't have plans. I'll probably just meet with some popsicles,
Okay.
maybe if someone wants to host me, cool. But
Okay.
nothing really planned in terms of content. And then the my next content now is in the DRC.
Okay.
I actually wanted to go to the Goma area. There's a war on DRC's natural resources is happening, but I'll see how safe it is. I'll hear from the people close to the border. Is it safe to cross over? I'll hear from people in Goma, etc.
Yeah. Remember, there's a little, the MK23s are out there. The M23s are out there in DRC. So be careful because I do know that there's two soldiers that were deployed there that just came back and they've passed away. Yet they came back to the country yesterday. So just be careful when you're out in the DRC. So you're saying after Zimbabwe, it's DRC next.
Yes.
Okay. So hopefully you'll get into like a safe haven, a safe space. You won't be where the guns are blazing,
Yes,
hopefully,
no,
crossing
definitely. But I
fingers.
mean, I'll just look into it before going. Of course, I won't go
Yeah.
in blindly. But yeah, I
Yeah.
would like to go and hear from the locals themselves. What's happening? You know,
Yeah. So
yeah.
so do you have like an itinerary? Like as much as you say you don't necessarily plan, but you know that you're gonna move from here to here to here. Do you say to yourself, okay, because I'm in Zim, I know that there's these kind of places that I want to see. So I want to see the closer people in Zimbabwe. I want to see whatever Victoria Falls maybe or whatever. So do you have as much as you don't plan, but do you have an itinerary in a sense of okay, in Zimbabwe we're going to at least go see these places?
Usually I don't.
Okay.
So I hear about things as I'm inside the country. So
Interesting.
I usually just know that okay, I'm going to Kenya, right?
Okay.
And on my way to Kenya, these are the countries that I'm going to pass through. So I plan the countries I'm going to pass through
Okay.
for the most part. So it's rare that I go to a country that I didn't expect to go through. But what I'm actually going to do in those countries, I usually don't plan or don't have an idea, because the way I do it is I'm not chasing tourist attractions. So
Sure.
right now, the things that you find online. So if I did a Google search on Malawi, I'd find tourist attractions, which is not what I
Sure.
do. So the
Sure.
tribal documentation that I do, you usually don't find it online.
Sure.
Or
Okay.
the tribes that have been documented, you find that they've already been quite well documented,
Mm.
that I don't want to now play in that space. So I always try to do something that I've never seen done.
Okay.
And in order to do that, I can't know ahead what I'm going to find. Because if I
Okay.
know ahead, then it means it's already been done. Yeah.
That's a very brave approach. Very brave and very exciting approach. Are you ever scared, Poppy? Are you ever scared of going to places? Because look, I think we need to be honest and say, when you're a solo traveler, there's so
Mm,
many things that can happen. Are you ever
true.
scared? Are you ever like nervous about going to certain places, or are you just like, come on, universe, do the right thing?
I I think what sometimes I'm scared of the mode of transport. So sometimes the
Okay.
buses will be rickety and just not service, not unroadworthy.
Mm, mm.
So things like that, dangerous roads. But in terms of safety from other human beings, no.
Not at all.
I never feel threatened by other humans. Well,
Okay.
or I suppose I'm never in spaces where there are dangerous human beings.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right, Poppy, just before I let you go, I need you to please let me know, or maybe you can't answer this question yet because you haven't finished your tour. But I want to know from you your favorite place to visit in Africa, or the place where you've had the most unexpected, awesome time.
Definitely definitely Gabon.
Okay.
And what I
What
like
happened
about
there?
Gabon is that it's very underdeveloped. So it's mostly forest. The whole
Okay.
country is just mostly forest,
Okay.
water, elephants. I hear that there are more elephants than humans in Gabon.
Oh,
So I enjoy just going into the Gabonese villages, and just chilling there. Yeah.
okay. And in South Africa, do you have a favorite place? Can you hear me?
Mm, maybe Hog's Back. I like the
Really?
mountains. I like the forest. Yes.
Do you like the cold? Or do you like summer?
No, not at all. I prefer summer.
Okay. 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 Okay.
Yeah, because I was recently in China and it was winter there, and I mean I knew it was gonna be cold because I'd lived there, but it just it just reinforced for me that I really don't enjoy winter.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm. All right, Pops, want to thank you so much for hanging out. Look, we're going to figure it out as we go along how we're going to do this. But I do know that if you can send us video footage just for people to see, where you are, what you're doing, and just to catch the vibes, and then we'll talk about it. That would be awesome. Okay.
Yes, definitely. As footage becomes available, I'll definitely share it.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out and making time for me. I appreciate you so much. I've got a meeting with you next week, Thursday, same time, same place, same website. And the Jump Off listeners, you need to go and check Poppy out. Poppy, where are you on the socials?
Yes. Yes. So my the jump off listeners can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Popi underscore Silia, POPI underscore SIBIYA.
Okay. And that's all.
Yes, that's it. Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you for coming through, man. Otherwise, yeah, that's how we ended with Poppy. She is a travel vlogger, blogger, and travel enthusiast. We've had a good time, a great time. We do this again, of course, next week, Thursday, on a Travel Thursday. Otherwise, we're going to get into some jams, get into some music. Remember, at the top of the hour, I do bring you your news headlines just to keep you in the know what's happening in and around your world. And then, in dedication and in acknowledgement of Poppy, in the last hour, we're going to chat about and talk about solo travel. So if you've ever kind of had a solo travel adventure and you want to come and let me know about it, all you got to do is dial the number 066 137 2723. That's 066 137 2723. Send me a WhatsApp message, a voice note, whatever floats your boat, really. I'm in it to win it. Otherwise, let's get into some jams, man. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Thank you, Pops.